So let's talk mental health. And no, this is not a lecture or a video with all statistics and data. This is real talk, real life stuff, and things that I want you to hear on a level that you may understand a little bit better. But first and foremost, my name is Ashley Walker, and I'm the creator of a brand called F.A.D. I'll get more into detail about that throughout this video, but yeah, let's get to it. Now, I'm pretty sure you've heard about mental health, whether it's through social media, whether it's from your parents, guardians, anybody in the world. There's a lot of stuff going on when it deals with mental health. But if you don't understand what mental health is, it's basically how you think, how you act, and how you feel. Anything that deals with your mind, which is basically anything that you deal with in a daily. Mental health is very important, and the reason why it's important is because, honestly, everything that happens throughout your day deals with your mental. When you have a positive mindset, you have more positive things going on. When you have a negative mindset, a lot more negative things go on, and that's when you get to the point of dealing with a lot of mental stressors, mental illnesses, all the negative parts of mental health. Now, I know that a lot of times you really just don't want to think about the things that are bad or think about the things that are bothering you or really reflect on what's going on. But right now, I want you to take a moment to listen to these questions that I have and to really think about it, not just while you watch this video, but as you go throughout your day and really process it. As you go through your day, do you ever feel overwhelmed? Like, do you feel stressed out? Do you feel like there's a lot going on that you really can't handle? Do you feel like you have a support system that you can talk to, that you can reach out to when you're feeling overwhelmed, when you're feeling at a low? Do you randomly start to feel sad, sometimes feel lonely, or do you ever feel like you're just in a zone to where nobody's there for you? Do you ever feel anxious? Feel those butterflies in your stomach, your heart is racing, and you wonder what's going on, but you try to push it to the side because you don't want to reflect on it and make it worse? Now, granted, I got a lot more questions for you, but I'm gonna keep it with those because I really just want to give you a little bit of insight of why those questions are important and why I want you to think about them. I know you're young. You're a teenager, you're learning a lot, your body's changing, your mind is changing, you got school, you got family life, so much is going on, and I bet you sometimes you just don't sit back and take the time to really reflect on those questions or anything that's going on in your life that deals with your mental. I get it. I was a teenager too, and honestly, when I was a teenager, I found out that I had depression. At the time, I didn't process it because honestly, I didn't even know what depression was. I didn't know what mental health was, and so I didn't take that time to really get the help that I needed to avoid getting to the point of where I ended up getting a mental illness. And that's why I'm speaking to you on a real talk level, because I want you to understand it's okay to not be okay. You know, if your self-esteem is feeling low, you're starting to feel down on yourself, you're starting to feel worthless, it's okay to talk to somebody. There's people out here who are available. I get it. I get it. Sometimes we feel like, hey,
I don't want nobody to judge me. I don't want nobody to look at me like I'm crazy.
But let me tell you something. Those people that you feel like looking at you crazy, those people that you might be worried about, probably the same people that need the same help that you need and probably getting help and you just don't even know it. Don't worry about what people think about you. You are the best person that you put your mind out to be. But it's up to you to get to where you need to be. It's up to you to keep your mind on a positive track. Because when all that negativity and all those bad thoughts and all the things that you're trying to do that's not meant for you fills in the spot of all the good things, that's when things start to go left. And that's when people start looking at you crazy. And that's when people start questioning you. But at the end of the day, it don't matter what they got to say. Your mental health, your mindset, your well-being is all about you. So let's talk about school. I get it. It gets hard. I was there and I struggled as well. But I struggled because I didn't get the help that I needed, because I was too prideful and I was too stuck on doing things on my own that I didn't realize I had resources that could have helped me even better, and I could have been where I wanted to be right now even faster. At the end of the day, when you get that, that's when you start feeling better about yourself, and that's when you can look back and say, hey,
I did that.
But in order to get there, you got to keep your mindset on track. You got to focus on your mental health and take care of you. So when it comes to your assignments, when it comes to school, I get it. It gets overwhelming, and I know you may want to quit, but keep pushing. Keep doing what you got to do. Get those grades up. Keep those grades high. You're going to have bumps in the road. You're going to be sad sometimes. You're going to be overwhelmed, and it's going to get to that point so where you're like,
I'm done.
But when you get to that point, there's counselors, there's teachers. Hey, there's people like me. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a counselor. I'm just someone who's dealing with a mental illness, who's trying to help someone like you and helping others out here to avoid the mental issues and to understand why it's important to live a better life. One thing that I do a lot is I journal. That was something that I did when I was your age to get me through a lot before I got help. And then I look back to this day and I'm like, wow, That was a lot going on. I was very stressed out. But at the end of the day, it really helped me. And it was that self-care that I needed to get me through those trials and tribulations that you just might be going through. And I know it gets to the point of where you get to that low state and you just want to give up on yourself. Some of you may want businesses. Some of you may want to go to college. But you can't get there until you do what's right for you. Keep your mind on track and keep steady with what you need to do with yourself. So if you're ever feeling overwhelmed, if you're ever feeling at a low, if you're ever feeling confused, don't try to handle this all on your own. You got to be honest and don't worry about the judgment that may come your way, because nobody's going to understand until you take that step. That's how I started my F.A.D, because I didn't realize that I needed that help. I didn't realize how much information was out there that I didn't know. And I want to use this to help you, because mentally you're going to get drained, you're going to get tired, you're not going to want to do your work, and then when it's time to get to the next level and it doesn't happen, you're going to wish you did. Now I know that might hit heavy, and I know sometimes that tough love is hard to hear, but at the end of the day, I know you got this. And that is why I hope that this video gave you some insight that you needed. I hope that this information helps you to process things a little bit better. And I hope that you know that your mental health matters and you matter. Utilize that brain of yours, because I know you're smart. I know you got the gems, and I know you got everything you need to make it to where you want to be. I challenge you to start your own F.A.D. Fight against depression. Have that faith. Have the ambition to keep going and be determined to get to where you want to be. You got this. I know you can do it.